What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I know, before you start, I know it's been a while. I did take a pretty lengthy hiatus from the channel and doing everything on YouTube. I needed to really step back and kind of find something to do. I mean, it's been cold winter weather up here, and I don't really know what all to film because I'm either working or freezing my butt off. So winter's not very entertaining on my end. So I figured I wouldn't really film anything boring. I want to actually put out some good content for once. I figured I'd show you guys me messing around the shop. I have a few things to fix, and I figured it might be a little entertaining. TJ's coming over, and he's gonna basically be moral support because that's what he does. And today, behind me, you can see I have my old tried and true, my Rose. This is my old truck. Many of you know me personally. You know this truck. This truck has been with me for very many years. It's been with me through a lot of adventures. I put it through the ringer. Absolutely. Everybody knows that I have a very strong sentimental attachment to this here truck. I'm gonna give you a quick little backstory, and then we'll get into the actual juice of the video. So, Rose is a 2006 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 HD. The HD part means that she has a 6.0 under the hood. She's not just the regular 5.3. She has the beefier engine and the beefier suspension. She basically is a 2500 non-HD. I have not done anything to this motor. This engine is 100% stock. The only performance mod, if you will, I have true duals coming out the back. Flowmaster Super 44s, they sound wonderful. I'll give you a listen. Very loud, but sounds absolutely amazing. I love that sound. I love how the chrome pipes look out the back. I can't complain about that sound. Everybody else complains about it because it's a little too loud for their liking, but I think it's just perfect. Any other mods that I've done to it is just I got a 52-inch curved light bar. I have newer era mirrors, a headache rack, tonneau cover, and smoked lights. Nothing special. Enough about my story with Rose. Actually, Rose is getting a new life right now. I'm done with her. You guys have seen Callie. I had to move on to a bigger truck. I need a little bit beefier of a vehicle. So Rose is now proudly owned by my little brother Jordan. He hasn't changed anything. She stayed almost exactly the same as when I gave her to him. The only thing that has changed, it had to change. There was no question about it. These are the old rims and tires that I used to have on here. These are 20-inch gear blackjacks, I believe, with Cooper Discoverer tires on them. These are 33 inches tall. I think they're 12 wides. I got those on Facebook Marketplace for a killer deal. I actually got all four for $500 back in, I think, 2 years ago. But I bet you could tell me what's wrong with these tires and why we don't have them on here. Jordan driving around in the snow and whatnot, he was telling me that this thing just slides everywhere. It has no control. I mean, trucks are already pretty bad because the bed, it has no weight in it unless you put weight in it yourself. But we figured we had to do something. You can't just let him go. We had a separate vehicle for him to drive, but obviously he wanted to drive her. I mean, can you blame him? So right here we have brand new Hilo rims. Those are 17-inch rims wrapped in the Cooper Discover AT3s. They are just slightly smaller. Now these are 33s almost exactly. These are 32.5. I think these are 32.5 inches tall. The other big difference is the width. That is about 10 inches and that's 12. That gave it a beautiful stance from the back and front that really made it seem like a baby monster truck. But I can't complain. I really like the milled look on these helos. I have milled rims on Cali, and I always like the bigger rim, but the small rim, big meat tire, that's just a classic look, and I think it turned out pretty well on Rosa. She's no mud monster, I can tell you that. This truck barely goes off-road. It's basically a pavement princess, but I think she's looking good. Now to why she's in my shop. I mean, she's just sitting here. I don't have her just sitting here to look at her. I mean, I've spent plenty of time looking at her. She's in here because that wheel bearing has gone bad. Now, I'm no mechanic, but I am YouTube certified mechanic. So I'm gonna try my hand at getting this done and still having an evening. So, time to get to work. All right, so I have her up on jack stands. Always use jack stands, kid, even if they are Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight jack stands are still better than no jack stands. But look, this is basically a brand new caliper. What's going on? Why is this barely even looks like it's been driven at all? Well, that's because that is a brand new caliper. I actually had this whole thing torn apart, what, 2 days ago? When the new wheels and tires came, I had replaced both front rotors because they had gone bad. And I was like, wow, that's great. They came right out, zipped them right back on. I was like, oh, great. I tore everything apart and then put it back together, and it's all good to go. I was hoping that once the new wheels and tires came on and I put everything back together, that everything would ride nicer than when I gave her to him. But that didn't happen. I let him drive it. He said, hey, there's a weird chugging noise. I don't understand it. And I said, well, let me see what you're talking about. And I got in. Sure enough, there was a weird chugging noise coming from this side. At least I thought it was this side. But like I said, I am no mechanic. I barely even know how to turn a wrench. And I called my buddy, who actually is a mechanic, and he said, I think that's a wheel bearing. He did his little test shebang, whatever he does, and worked his magic, and he basically diagnosed this one. Well, over here working as hard as I can. Look who decides to show up. Hey, what's up? The work ain't done. You're not supposed to be here yet.
Oh man,
I thought you were like a blister.
come back and help.
He's like a blister. He only shows up when the hard work's done. Now that TJ's here, I can rest assure you that he's gonna do nothing while I do everything.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we clocked out for the day, bro. I'm off the clock. I'm here for moral support, okay?
He is that one friend that everybody has that while you're working on stuff, they just stand around and watch you and talk to you. It's actually kind of a nice thing to have when you're working on stuff, because working on stuff alone, not really as fun.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display.
All right, so we are back at square one where I was just a few days ago. Brand new rotor out the way, and time to dig into this rusty mess. I'm going to remind you guys that I am definitely no professional mechanic, but I am YouTube certified. So that'll get done. But my lovely assistant just reminded me that.
Hold up. I'm not the assistant. I'm the main character. He's the assistant. All right, proceed.
That's why he's the one holding the camera. Now my lovely assistant slash lesser co-host here has just reminded me that I look different to you guys. I actually did get my hair cut. I know that some of you might have thought that was my thing. I do love long hair, but it got too annoying. Every time I bend over, my hat would fall off. Half of my hats didn't even fit. And when you're laying underneath vehicles, it actually gets caught in the wheels of the creeper sometimes. So that's not very fun. It'll rip it right out of your skull. So Yes, I know I look very different, but
Hey.
The enemy think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quit.
What's up, guys? So, you know, we're doing this wheel bearing, and Brandon's making pretty good progress. I'm just kind of aimlessly walking around doing whatever it is that I do. And I hear this man go, uh-oh. And I'm across the shop, right? I was over there doing whatever it is I do, doing TJ things. He goes, uh-oh. I walk over, say, what's wrong? He goes, it's stripped. And then proceeds to say, you know what stripped means? I said, it means it's stripped. He goes, no, size down on a sledgehammer. So that's the route we're going to have to go. That's the route we're gonna take.
I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go! To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the
all right, so I am now done with the extraction of the part. It's all torn down. Here's the old one. It doesn't. I don't know how to tell if it's bad. I told you I ain't no mechanic. You can hear that though, so you can only imagine how that sounds going down the road. But that gone. On to the new one. Now, anybody that knows anything knows Moog is the way to go. But before I do any of that, I got some cleaning up to do, because that is just gunky and terrible in there. I'll just have one crazy time trying to get that back in. So I gotta do that. And for everybody that's gonna say, hey, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, I told you I am not a mechanic by any means. I am just some guy with some wrenches on in my free time, just messing around. What was that? I don't know. Okay. I'm just some guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and he just likes doing it. And I'd say I'm doing halfway decent. I mean, the taking it apart is always the easy part, some would say. And TJ is...
I'm pretty good at destroying stuff.
Yeah, this kid. You always need a fat friend that's always fun to keep around.
Wow, thanks, buddy. Love you too.
All right, well, I'm gonna get back to it.
Move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it does take a man to admit that you mess up, and I messed up. I also I'm gonna show you how you can tell that I am not a mechanic. I'll give you a moment to see if you can figure out what I did wrong. I put this backer panel on backwards. It should be facing, this should be back here more. Because now our rotor does not fit. The studs will not come through. Because I'm smart. All right, back to square one. All right, so as it should be, the now owner is working on this monstrosity. We also have TJ and Big Shoots. That's Stevie. That is the mastermind of everything. He's basically the only reason that we can actually get away with what we do. Because we act like we know what we're doing. We wrench on stuff. We do whatever. But then when it actually is important, we say, Stevie, we need help. We are gonna finish this up and I'll catch back when it's done. All right, guys, so that's gonna put our night to a close. We got everything done. The truck is running. I didn't get a test drive in because it was uneventful other than us almost dying because I was driving very fast. But everything's buttoned up. Everything's good to go. The truck is solid. And TJ still has all of his fingers. Hopefully we get to play with more explosives here soon. But we're going to try and get back onto a halfway decent recording schedule so that we'll actually be able to pump out videos. But I don't want to pump out something that's not going to be entertaining and whatnot. So if there is a long pause, I do apologize. I'm trying to actually get stuff that's worth watching. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.
Oh!